Good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to shut my light off, I think. That's a little bit better. Ooh, that light. So, we are going to be live here with Blair and Dulce. Good morning, Mark. How are you? Hope you're doing good. I am barefaced, so you'll have to just focus on them, not me, which I hope you always do. I had cataract surgery earlier this week. No makeup, which is not a big deal, but it's a little scary going, live like that. And there is Blair, so we will add them on. So hang on, you guys. And once we've got them on, I'm going to do my sharing. Hey, Monty. Hey, Alita. We did a test run this morning, so sound was good, everything was good. So here they are. There's Blair. How are you?
Well, good, Carla. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Good.
We're trying to adjust the phone. We'll get
there we go.
The other
Can
half
hear
of
you
this
perfect.
Team in here.
Yeah. We're doing good. I'm going to do my share. Hey, Dulce, how are you?
Hola.
Hola.
Good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, okay. We've got somebody doing the shares for me. Thank you. Thank you, my behind-the-scenes person, otherwise known as Mike. Mike of many names.
Hi,
Hello, Mike.
Hola.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. So, you guys, why don't we start by you guys introducing yourselves so everybody knows who you are?
Move over a bit.
Yeah.
I'm Blair Duguid, and I'm the president of Cortez Industries.
And I'm Dulce Hernandez, and I work for Cortez Industries.
Right. Yes. So, how long has Cortez been in business, Blair?
We really got going about 3.5 years ago, Carla.
Oh, okay.
And it's been a real fun time for the last 3 years. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. You've been it's exploded, and it's been awesome to see it happen.
Well, we've been lucky that a lot of people in the beginning believed in us, and and said good things about us. So it's allowed us to expand and add product lines as much as we can.
Right.
We're always trying to add new things. We added a couple new things this week already, but we do now. It's kind of interesting because I see the orders come in.
Yeah.
And we now ship all over the world.
Yes.
Oh, are you worldwide now? Okay. Very good.
Well, we're not quite as big as Mr. Kramer, but
right.
in 40 countries, but we're trying. Doug's doing it a little longer than we have.
Yeah.
So. But yes, we're quite happy to help people wherever we can.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how did it begin? How did you get started how did Cortez begin?
Well, I was asked by a friend, I was shown what a chamber was, and I'd been involved in a machine shop. Mm-hmm. And so we decided that we would try it and see if we could make one and make it properly. Yeah. And one thing led to another, to the point where now we do make all our own chambers, all our own side seals. We're in partnership with, I shouldn't say we own it 100%, with a really good guy who's a great machinist. And we have 3 CNC machines now. And we make other things that have nothing to do with spray foam industry, but we obviously concentrate, my end of it, obviously, and Dulce's, is to concentrate on the spray foam parts.
Ah, okay. And how did you two meet? How did you come on board, Dulce?
Well, so 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years.
10 years,
wow.
Yeah. I started working for Windward Silks. Mm-hmm. As a temp. I was packing in the warehouse, and then I work hard. Yeah. I've always been a hard worker, and so then after they need me in the production area, we make flowers and arrangements and all the stuff.
Right.
And I started working there, and then samples, and then with the designers, and then I work always for Blair. Always he was my boss all the time. Mm-hmm. He's telling me where to go, what to do, all this. so he trusted me, and I always I was always responsible, right? You could say.
Yes, you were.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to be really responsible, and that's how we met. That this is like 10 years ago.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And yeah,
Yes.
and I still work for Windward,
Right.
and I started on and off, but with Windward in 1984. So I've been there 35 years.
And tell everybody what Windward is.
Windward Canada, Windward Silks is one of the largest producers of artificial flowers in the world.
In the
if you
world?
go online and punch up Windward
Yes.
Silks or Windward Canada, you would see us. We sell artificial Christmas trees, ornaments,
High end
stuff,
Yeah.
and it's and I've been doing that forever.
Yes.
So it's funny because when people come to pick up the local people, obviously in Mississauga where we're located, Mississauga, Ontario, they always drive up to the front. The first thing they see in the front window is a whole bunch of artificial flowers, right? So they think they're definitely
At the wrong place.
But it's good because the guys can buy flowers for their wives.
Well, there you go. See, it's a
Or girlfriends, right?
that's
A win-win.
multitasking at its finest.
Yeah.
Well, we had at one point we had a big jewelry line from a very good friend of ours named Jackie Kent, and I used to have the guys come in, and they would buy jewelry like there was no tomorrow, and I would always ask them. They said, "Well, we get in trouble. We're doing." One of the guys had it in his glove box, and he had different layers. He had earrings, bracelets, necklaces. And I said, well, why the three? Why do you separate them? He says, depends on how much trouble. Right? I'm out late. I'm doing this. So it all worked out.
Yeah.
But yes, actually, we had one of our customers last year actually came in and bought a completely decorated Christmas tree. And when we decorate them, they're not like the ones you see anywhere else. These are professionally done.
Yeah.
And looks great in his house now.
Wow.
So it was a win-win.
How did you get involved how did you get started with that company? Like what made you get into that?
You know what? I applied for a job in 1984 and I knew nothing about flowers. Zero. And after a few interviews, though, I think the one that sealed the deal was, one, I had no preconceived notions on how to sell the stuff. And second of all, and I remember the owner of our company who sorely passed away last year, who had been my mentor for all these years, he asked me a question. He asked me if I golfed. And I said, no, I didn't. He says, perfect. We're hiring you because he says, I know you'll work Fridays.
In those days, wasn't it funny how you could, like, that's how you did get a job, was something just, like, totally just not even related to it. It was just, that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I had my my little thing from college, but it was fun, and it's been fun a long time. I mean, obviously, I've been doing it this long. So, and then, I like Dulce said, Dulce started working for Windward, and I watched her, mature and get better and better at things, and then asked her, would she mind giving me a little bit of a hand with Cortez, because it got to be a little bit of a handful.
Yeah.
And now I can walk away. It's such a good feeling to know that you can trust people like her, and don't forget Rex and now Alita.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we don't see, and a lot of you guys don't see Rex because he's always traveling. I can tell you right now that he's watching right now, and he's in, I believe he's in Montreal. Last week he was New York State. He's got 20 years experience in the industry, in the machines, and part of the service we offer is that they can call him anytime. There's never going to be a charge, and he will definitely help them in the best way he can, because the idea is not to sell people parts. The idea is to fix their problems. If they need parts to fix it, we're quite happy to help them. But we don't need to sell people a bunch of things that they don't need.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do also with, for example, our job, Aleida, my job is to also help the Spanish community, right, the Latinos. So what we're doing is I ask Rex, when I have a question, when they have a question, he explained it to me. I can just tell them. So our job is not just to sell, is also to help them, right? Like if
Yeah.
they have a question, if you can help them, we will do it.
Yes.
And that's what Aleida, hello Aleida, by the way.
Yes, hello, Rex,
She has
and
it
hello,
Yes, hello, Aleida.
Hello,
Yes.
Aleida.
And this is not to be confused with my husband, Rex. This is Rex Taylor we're talking about.
Oh, yes, yeah. I got that before. I said, like, is it Rex? Carla's like, I don't know. I was in imagination. I don't know.
But
Yeah,
you know, you guys are all really good about when, you know, there's posts in worldwide and stuff, and you guys always come on and you're always helpful. Rex Taylor is always, you know, he comes on and he does give that, you know, he really goes in depth on, you know, different solutions and, you know, have you tried this, or how about this, or we have that, you know, very, very helpful, very informative. So yeah, it's,
well, he has the experience. It's not that someone just making things up or saying, why don't you try it? No, he knows. He tells you, he explains to you, right? In detail. Like he, for example, give us like a teaching lesson about the AP guns and the CS gun, how to rebuild them to Aleida and I. And it was good. He explained since like the most little detail until the whole gun. So it's good. He knows what, and he has experience.
Yes.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he does.
And yes, just so everybody knows, yes, the two girls can actually put together an AP gun.
AP and CS.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Now, you need to say hello to our Spanish speaking people.
Claro,
yes,
claro.
please do.
Hola a todos, espero que, hola a todos, espero que pues sí, se estén disfrutando de esta entrevista. Los quiero mucho. Aleida y yo trabajamos mucho, mucho para ustedes, y cualquier cosa que necesiten, sabe que nosotros les vamos a ayudar y apoyar. Saludos a mi hermana y a mi mamá. So, I'm happy. I have to say hello to my sister and mom.
Are they on here?
Well, my sister is,
good.
my sister is, my mom probably watching with her, but as a Spanish, as a Mexicana, I need to say hello to them.
Yes.
You know, they will come and you didn't say hello.
That's right. You'll be in trouble. You're going to get grounded.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble.
Now, have you guys both been, how long have you guys lived in Mississauga?
I've been there for,
Is that where you're
25, 30 years.
Where are you originally from, Blair?
I was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh, were you?
And came here we moved to Ontario in 1974. So we've been here a long time, and we live in Georgetown now,
right?
Which is just north of Mississauga. Our office is still in Mississauga, where we keep our stuff and where people can come. I know the odd time we use the house because of the address for the corporation, and I do have people banging on the front door at my own home.
Oh my,
right?
yeah.
We're basically open 24/7.
Yeah, you guys are. I know, and I mean,
yes,
you guys.
But we enjoy it. It's not like for us. The difference is we enjoy what we do. We're happy if he's having a barbecue, like Marilyn, like his wife is there, the kids, and if we're like having a barbecue and we get orders or somebody called us, we gladly take those phone calls and we talk about it. And they're like, oh, here I go, because we are busy, so we never close.
Yeah.
Spanish or Latinos or from people from US or Canada, we always working.
You guys were answering Clemen's post at my time. It was 11 o'clock, so that was like what 2 o'clock or whatever in the morning. You guys were like answering his post. I'm like, holy smokes, you guys need to go to bed because you gotta be ready.
Well,
but that's what it's about.
Well, I guess I should explain too, is when I decided to get into this, I was thinking it was going to be a couple hours a week, and it was going to be kind of nice to do in my retirement.
Right.
Needless to say, I was sorely mistaken. Thank you all for making me wrong. I'm not going to complain. But when I started it, the phone number everybody calls is my personal cell phone.
Yes, it is.
And thinking that, well, you know, you won't get too many calls. Well, now we're not going to change the phone number ever. So that's why you can get a hold of us most of the time. And between Dulce and Rex and myself and Alida, we're quite happy to answer to the best of our ability regardless when it is, because we're all small business people.
Yeah.
And we know what it's like to need things or need questions answered, and you can't pick the time sometimes. It's not unusual where we've been called on a Friday night and somebody says, you know, I need a new this or I need a new that, and I have to do the job this weekend because it has to be done by Sunday night. If we're around, we're the first ones to say, fine, meet us at the office, we'll get you the part, whatever you need, as long as we have it, obviously. We would have to have it, but you know, for all the things we make, we stock all of it. The hose wraps, we own part of that company. We make our own. We're really good about the quality control of things, and we're trying to get better all the time from input, obviously, from our customers. We've tried things that haven't worked.
Right.
You know, we did a test on something a while ago, and the idea was great, but it didn't work out. So thank you to everybody who helped us.
Thank you. Gracias.
Yeah.
But like, we came out with our own grease, and I guess well, we really haven't pushed it hard yet, because we're just waiting for one of the packaging things to be finished, but everybody's loving it. You know, we came out with our own fluid valves, just because people kept asking for it. We haven't pushed them too hard. We have a lot of our own CS parts now that we didn't have before, and now you can buy, for argument's sake, you can buy a CS cartridge, you can buy an A or a B. You don't have to buy both sides at the same time. Again, we're small business people. We're here to help. I always look at our Cortez almost as an insurance company. The reason you have our parts is in case something goes wrong. We're hoping it doesn't, right? Because the OEM manufacturers of these guns are the best in the world, right? Bar none. They make the best product in the world. We're fortunate enough that we can add some parts that we make for them. But the whole idea is to just keep these guys up and running. And what it takes is, if you need something and it needs to be shipped overnight, now we're getting to the point with some of our American customers that they order it, they have it the next day. You know, it's a small world that you can't get things out right away. Right? And we're quite happy to do that. We're working with a lot of different people right now, and it's fun. I gotta admit, I'm having a hell of a time.
Well, and I think anybody that's close to you might see a very nice yellow car pull up in their parking lot. Deliveries, right?
I make no bones about it to anybody who's watching that I've worked very hard for a lot of years. And I was fortunate enough last year to somehow talk my wife into letting me get that. I already had one from before, which has been given to our son, because we have 2 kids. We have a son and a daughter, and I have 2 grandkids. And and we actually, I have pictures of my Z06 delivering a 50-foot hose. Right?
I think that's
so
awesome.
I have no problem delivering in that car either.
You know
we
what?
We do what we can. I enjoy it. And you know what? I think everybody agrees that, you know, we all work hard. And there are things in life that you all work, and you know, I've been doing this a long time. I'm not 30 years old, so I could see if somebody saw me at 30 driving one of those things, maybe a little pissed, but no, and we do it. And right now, Dulce and I are up at our place up north. We have fortunate to have a place up north. My wife was smart finally and retired at the end of May. So, and she's an RN and is an expert in disability management. And so at the end of May, enough was enough. And which was great. And she's up here now, and we, you know, hopefully today's going to be a little bit better. We were hoping it was a nice day. But we're up here and we enjoy boating. We're on Lake Simcoe. I've had customers here to our place picking up parts. Right. There's no place we won't help them. Believe me.
Well,
I think Ryan knows who he is. He's been here picking up parts.
I can pretty much guarantee if somebody's coming to pick up parts, you're probably inviting them in for dinner too.
Well, I don't know about dinner. These are spray foam guys, right? Usually they don't.
Or a drink.
I always find that they. Well, you know what, Carla? And you've probably noticed this too. Have you ever noticed it's usually not the food they're after, right? But we do have a pretty stocked up beer fridge downstairs.
That'll get them in the door. But
Exactly.
You are the type of person that is part of, that's part of also why people want to work with you, Blair, is because you are definitely that old school way of, like, if you're my customer, you become part of the family and you treat them like that. And like, yeah, you enjoy your customers very much. And I think that's a little bit lost in today's day and age. And I think it's so important.
Oh, yeah, it is important.
Mm-hmm.
Even, for example, those Mexican customers that we have here, right, in Canada, they love us, and they always buy from us.
Yes.
But I say most of the time, or all the time, they call us. They love Blair because he's nice, he's warm, he welcomed them, and then he introduced me right away, right,
Mm-hmm.
because I speak Spanish, so we can get that friendship. Even it's like a customer, we have like a nice friendship, and anything they need, we help them.
Yeah.
And now we're doing that with our customers in US, which is a lot of Latinos there. And we always said it's about to help you. If you guys have any problems, like I said, like we always trying to do our best to help them.
Right.
Yeah.
You got. Go ahead.
I met a lot of, since we started this, I met a lot of really, really great people. And my competition, like a lot of people think that we don't talk, we do talk.
Yes.
There is a lot of really good people out there that are very knowledgeable and that have helped me. I'm the first one to admit, if you call and I can't answer the question, we'll just say no.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the answer. I need to get Rex. I'm not the technical guy. Right? I don't pretend to be. There are certain things, obviously, that we do know that we can help with, but we're quite happy to say no. Why give somebody the wrong answer, obviously?
Yeah.
Right? And so we're all about, again, it boils down to just helping everybody, and we're all in the same industry, and we're trying to make it better. I love what was said last week about how things in Canada were obviously very regulated.
Yeah.
Where people have to be certified to spray. Like we make the test kits for both different versions of the testing up here in Canada. And it's good to see the industry going that way.
Right.
Because it's all about reputation. All it takes is one bad person to do something wrong and you hear about it.
Right.
And it's not about whose foam you're spraying or whose parts you're using. It's you're out there, so long as you provide quality service to that consumer, right? That's what makes the industry strong. Right?
Exactly.
It's when somebody doesn't do that or does things that they shouldn't, that hopefully we all band together and those people are weeded out pretty quickly.
Yes, that's right. And I think too, it's been that's been created, I think, with, obviously Spray Foam Worldwide has played that role very hugely in connecting everybody kind of in that place. And we've learned and switched that mentality a lot, I think, because now you've got people, like you're saying, you and Keith Bowie were taking pictures together. You guys, Sidewinder and TaylorMade Hose Wraps, like you guys were together.
Yeah.
I know you and Kent have, like you guys go back and forth. There's a lot of, back and forth, silly, whatever, but it's all in good fun. And I think it's incredible that happens.
Well, we try, and all the people you mentioned, Keith Bowie, Kent, they're all good people. They all make good product. They all represent good product. We may compete, obviously, but and we still think ours is better. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
But it all goes down to that we're all there to make it better for the end consumer and can make the guys doing the work, the physical work, that it's done well. And I watch all the. Well, I'm not the technical guy on the foam side of it by any stretch of the imagination. Watching the technology and what these different companies are coming out with and making things better and better and better. And you mentioned Spray Foam Worldwide. I remember in the beginning when, like you said, Carl, I think there was maybe when I got involved 100 people.
Right.
And I think we were one of the very first people to ever sponsor anything and give. I remember Mike giving our stuff away.
Yeah.
And I was quite happy to help because we were all just trying to get going.
Yeah.
Right. And since then, obviously, we're the Piranha distributor in Canada, which we really enjoy and we push all the time. We love the tools, and I think everybody else does too. And we become good friends with the guys and with Bill and everybody because they are doing such a good job to make this a better industry, not just in the United States, but here in Canada and everywhere.
Right.
Because it's so broad now. And there's so many different ways of contacting and talking to people. It's great, and we love like being on Spray Foam Worldwide and being one of the sponsors and stuff. So it's great.
Well, and you and the three of us would not be having this conversation without that group.
Yeah. No,
and you,
I agree.
I will say you were the first person to believe in me and take me on.
Yeah.
And I've said it to you a number of times, but I'll say it right here again, that you took that leap of faith, and I will never forget that, and I appreciate it.
Well, he knows where someone is good. He knows.
Yeah.
So he knows. I'm telling you.
Yes. Yeah.
No, you are, Carla. You're great, man. You're really we couldn't be more happy with you. You're really, really awesome, and I love everything you do. I love your posts. I love how nice you are, and you understand that, right? Because sometimes it's harder to be like a woman in this industry or even out there in the world, and you give us, I love your post. You give us that I know, I love
Say it
you.
in Spanish.
I know, eres muy buena, like Carla.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love you guys too.
De verdad, like, we really like you.
The thing is, when you touched on that about being a woman in this, it is a male dominated industry, but what I love so much is seeing those women, all of us posting in Worldwide, and Jennifer Edwards has been huge in there lately, and she's so good, and Ashley Foster, and there's so many to mention, and it's nice to see them starting to come up, and it levels out. It levels out, and we're all working together. So, and I really think that the guys in that group have been incredible. And for the, there's been a few times that sometimes things get a little off the rails, but that's okay. We deal with it.
Yeah.
Well,
we can do it.
That's right.
And it happens it happens everywhere. I remember, Carla, when we first met, and I'm old school. I'm the first to admit it. I am not the techno geek. Without Rex and Dulce, and now with a lead on the Facebook on the Spanish end of it, our website, all I know is I go on and it works.
Right.
Had nothing to do with me. Those pictures are not by me. Dulce takes all those.
I take the pictures.
Right? Rex knows how to make it all work in the background.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about social media. It was funny when I first met you.
Yeah.
It was, I almost went, well, who cares about Facebook?
Right.
Right. And then we talked and I said, okay, well, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Right. And that was, 3.5 years ago, I guess, or whatever. Yeah. And it's been ever since. Best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
The odd time I make really good decisions, I've been lucky, extremely lucky, that the people that work for me are also, they're the best people there are. I can tell you that without a word of a lie, Rex, Dulce, Alita, Marilyn, 110% all the time. Right? I never have to worry, and that keeps getting bigger, and as the bigger companies know, that's the key. It's not about me. It's a team, and we're a team. Right. We like working together. We enjoy each other's company. We do get together on a personal level, obviously, and because we are part of a big family. Yeah. Right. And every year, I guess the odd time everybody sees, once a year, I started something that we have a Cortez annual sales meeting. I think this was the second year. Yeah. And
a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun, and it's funny how many employees all of a sudden I get. Because I think the first year I had 22 employees. Now we were up to, I think, 35.
Oh, you're growing.
Yeah. Everybody wearing Cortez shirts.
Nice.
You know, it's amazing as some of the other people probably can attest to it. It's amazing when you're picking up the tab at the bar and picking up the food that how many people want to join your company, even if it's for a short period of time.
When he's handing the tickets for free booze, for alcohol, right? Like, here, there you are, there you are. And we're like, yes. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yes, I know. I remember years ago, my brother worked for a company, and he was, you know, he had to go out and wine and dine and do that whole thing. And he said, when I finally had to put kind of a bit of a limit on it because it was getting out of hand. And he said, when I did that, nobody wanted to come for dinner anymore.
Yeah.
No, you cannot do that.
No,
he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He's just like, go have fun and we all enjoy.
You know, I think, well, that's important because you guys, like, how many companies I know that I've worked for or anybody's worked for where the last thing you want to do is spend your personal time with the people you work with. So I think that's incredible. You guys do that because that makes that bond much stronger work-wise too.
Well, Carla, that's the only way that this is working. Yeah. To be honest, I'm like so grateful that I have them because Blair, honestly, Blair and his wife opened everything for me. Like, they opened the doors for me, and they were so good. And now they're my family, Canadian family. All my family is in Mexico.
Right.
Hola, todos.
Yes.
But so this is my family, and his family, his kids, the grandkids, they're so nice to me.
Yeah.
And so it's not like just like working. Sometimes we get together and we have this thing that Marilyn will do something and Blair will do another thing, I've been doing another thing, and then he cooks. It's not just like we're like working. No, we have
you
fun.
You have fun too. You've got to. Yeah.
Yes. And every one of us is good. You, Carla, are amazing to us. Aleid is so good. She's following your steps. and we, like, he's our leader.
Yeah.
Even if we say, like, no, we disagree, he's like, no, this is how we do it. And we learn a lot from him.
Right.
And I learn a lot. I'm learning a lot. And then I tell Aleid that, look, he's successful, he's good, and he's honest. Yeah. And I like that about this company, is honest.
Right.
Which is, I'm proud of
that.
I can proudly say that I'm proud to be in a company that is honest. We're not like doing something bad to just get money from our customers. No.
Right.
If something doesn't work, we're the first one to admit it.
Yeah. And it's, without selling him short, without Rex, we'd be dead in the water.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't see is because he's always out and about, is the amount of work that he puts in the background for our company. About when we come out with new parts and new things, it's him doing the technical part of it.
Yeah.
Right. He understands it. He knows what people want. He added, just even in the CS side seal or cartridge, was to just put a slot in it so that if it rounds itself after numerous times taken in and out, you can still put a screwdriver in it to get it out, especially if it's all gummed up. Little things like that.
Yeah.
It's input from good customers who said we had an issue with the uninsulated hose wrap sliding down on the hoses. Well, now there's straps on the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that that everybody. We love getting the input from customers, good or bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. We're not perfect. I wish you could say we are, but we're not. But what we really pride ourselves on is customer service. It's not just the parts we sell. Obviously, I'm very proud of what we make ourselves and proud of everything we do. But it's our customer service, I think, that's increased our sales so dramatically over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's the most important thing there is. Right?
Yeah.
Parts are parts.
For sure.
I don't care about. I care about them. Don't get me wrong, but I need to make sure that, and it doesn't matter if it's big or little. We deal with some very big companies, and we deal with a lot of individuals. So long as we can help them as quickly and as efficiently as possible, we do.
Right.
It's somebody phones me at 4:00 Eastern time, so you're in BC, and I'll get a phone call, and it's 5:30 our time. right? Oh man, you're not going to believe it. I broke this, blah, blah, blah. Can you get it for, yeah, fine. Well, Purelator's already picked up. I'll drive to Purelator. I'm quite happy to get the part and get it there overnight if that's what they need.
Yeah, no,
Right.
he's good.
Yeah.
One time I remember I had to ship to Mexico, right? Well, in the border. And then I said, the guy called me, but my phone wasn't working. So when he finally comes, like, Dulce, I need it for tomorrow. And it was around, I think, 6 p.m. So I said, okay, let me call Blair. Blair, you have to ship this cheap. It's like, he was on his way to your house, right? I think.
Yeah.
The good thing is he drives the Corvette, so he's fast.
Right.
He's like, no, I turn around, and then he turned around. He went, and then I said, don't worry, it's done. I like, that's how he good.
Yeah.
For a chamber, it could be one chamber. We want them to work. We want them to get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think, it speaks volumes when I've seen them. Your customers have posted their reviews, and they, that's what companies are. They want their reviews. They want people to talk about them, and they struggle that they don't. And you guys have people that will they just do it because they love dealing with you guys. So that in itself speaks volumes.
Yeah, it is really important. Yeah. So by the way, hola Clemente, because he always puts good things.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Clement.
What was
we met him.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and just so anybody who didn't know, is Clemens is a very good customer of ours. And yes, he pays for everything, trust me.
Yes.
But he was up here in Canada, and when I knew he was going to be up, we made sure we took him out. We took him out to a really authentic Mexican restaurant. Yes. So authentic that I had to get them to order for me, right? Because I couldn't read anything on his menu. So, and it was excellent. But
it's a good choice.
We do that with the odd time I'm lucky enough to get Blue Jays tickets. I've taken Keith to it. We've taken Marco, Alfredo. We love doing stuff like that with our customers.
That's
Bob Noakes.
I think Keith Keith came on and he did mention that he was at a Blue Jays game with you guys. So
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
he's good. He's actually really good. Yeah.
Dulce.
Sometimes I don't, and just so everybody knows, I get these tickets sometimes, but I usually, my friend who gives them to me, I'm not going to say they're ours, it's usually last minute.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like they never say, well, next 2 weeks from now you can go to the game. It's 5 o'clock. Oh, by the way, here's 4 VIP seats.
Right.
You want to go, and it's who can I get a hold of quickly enough
that can come,
right? That can go.
Right.
So that's what really helps.
Yeah. So Dulce, how long have you been in Canada? Your family is in Mexico. What part of Mexico?
I'm from Mexico City, la Ciudad de Mexico, and I've been in Canada now it's 11 years.
Oh, okay. And did you move directly to Toronto? Was that the first?
Yes, I live in Toronto most of my, I think the first years, and then should I mention I was married? No? So then I got married, but I'm recently separated.
Okay.
So I was married for a few years.
Yeah. We've been
and then now
we've been there. Don't worry, we've been there. We understand.
Been there.
Don't ask me about being married because you don't want to hear about my life.
Right?
You should ask him.
We've all got a story.
Oh, believe me.
No, but now it's 12 years, and I have to say that it's interesting. When I came to Canada, no English at all. I mean, it's still learning, but nothing at all. And but I always, since Mexico, I have a good example. I always work since I was 12. Like when the break from school, I always work with my aunts. I have 2 aunts that are really successful in Mexico, and work for them. And they always taught me, you have to work hard. You have to do this. You have to. And since I was little, and then I moved to Canada, I started working, and I was so lucky to work for Wingward, and then with Blair.
Right.
So yes, it's been 12 long years in Canada.
Yeah. Are you able? Do you go back home? Like
yes,
often,
I went. After 7 years, I went back. Yes. So I see my family. So I go every year.
Oh, good. Yeah.
At first, I went a month and a half. I asked him, like, so I took month and a half vacation.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't go anywhere but Mexico City. Yeah. I was just there visiting my family, and with it was just family, family. And my sister, now my mom came last year for
nice.
visit
Yeah.
a month. And then now my sister, Monica Liliana, which is watching,
Yeah.
she's watching, she's going to be here for a week for just vacation. And my aunts, they're coming too.
Oh, very good.
So, yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
So I always, yeah.
And you guys have
And the big thing,
go ahead.
Carla, too, is that, and I've got with the actual driving force behind me, besides all the young ones, is my wife, Marilyn.
Right.
Right? Because she has to put up with
Yeah.
the crap in the background and the coming home and being
Right.
tired and sometimes cranky and
Yeah.
Because we only work, but it's harder, right? Because I know, like Marilyn, she's great, and she has to.
she supports us 110%.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
just so everybody knows that when you see those side seals in those packages, that's who did it. She's helping in the
behind
background
the
there.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, she was supposed to be fully retired, but I couldn't quite let her
she's
do
not
that.
She
quite
can do that.
there
She
yet.
can help us. She cannot quit.
She's not allowed to
But
quite go that fully
No.
retired.
No. Well, we had, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, and we posted a couple of pictures, but our daughter and our grandkids were down at the house, and Dulce came over, hadn't seen them in a while, and so we started doing, and we were working that night. I had my grandkids working.
Yeah.
And the next day they were in my office, and we had a very good customer in, Anthony. And my grandson was quite proud to tell him that he put the chamber in the tube and had to label it. And then Anthony had to open his mouth and ask him if he got paid for it.
Oh dear.
So I tried to explain to my grandson as delicately as I could, is that he was interning.
Right.
And this is in front of our customer, and Anthony looks at me, and my grandson Marshall says, "What's interning?" I said, "It's called free labor."
That's right.
Yeah.
We like their small fingers can put things inside of bags.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? That's
no, but they learn a little bit of Spanish. I
Yeah.
teach them a little bit. So
you
yeah.
you were going to teach us a few words. Are they good?
Look,
are they good?
Anything you
Are
want
they
to
good
know.
words
You
or
want
bad?
the bad words first? Wait, that's the first thing that I learned in English. Bad words.
I think that's when
Isn't that weird,
people when they want to learn as adults usually want to learn another language. That's the first thing they go for is the bad
Hey,
words.
I have one word in Spanish I have down perfectly. Cerveza.
There you go.
Cerveza.
Yes.
Por favor.
Yes, that's
Cerveza.
right. Yes.
That's the only thing you need to know. Una cerveza, por favor. Yeah.
The important stuff. The important stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I am trying to learn a bit of Spanish. It's not.
Oh no, he's good.
I'm better at it, but not. I'm not going to be the one that will answer some of our customers' questions, because I'm sure I will definitely say the wrong
Right.
thing.
And as we
And somebody will say to me, back to one of the girls, obviously, you know, your boss is a real idiot. You know what he just said to me. You know, he just asked me out on a date.
right.
You know, or something.
And we know Google Translate is not accurate.
Oh, you think?
That's why I'm always like, is this really what this says? Because I don't want to post something.
No, he's been telling me that he said, Dulce, do you know what you comment? Because like we're Mexicans, we, for example, we have like bad words we can say.
Yeah.
So this is a word that we say like a huevo. It's like damn right.
Yes.
Right? So, but huevo, it's egg. So it's like, did you just post an egg?
Yeah. It doesn't make any
it's
sense,
like,
right?
no, it's like damn right. You know, it's like
Right,
huevos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So it's even Aleida, I said one time she posted a picture of her daughter. Looks like my daughter. I love her. And I said something. I don't remember what I said, but Aleida was laughing because when you translate it, when in English it says you're fucking kid.
Oh.
And I didn't hear it like that. And it's
Yeah. That is always, I know, because I've done Google Translate on different, not just Spanish, but other languages, and I'm reading it going,
Yes.
what? That doesn't even, I don't even understand what that says. Like, it's not even
I
the
know.
sentence is not even right. Like, it's
Doesn't make
crazy,
sense.
but very crazy.
But I'm teaching him and his wife as much as I can. The good thing is Rex knows a little bit of Spanish. He's good, he's better, so that helps a lot.
You know, I think it was when Mom and I went on a trip last year. We landed in Montreal, and he was in the airport, and we tried to connect. He's like, "Are you, come? I'm in here. Come in and we'll have a drink." And we couldn't. It didn't work. We were missing each other because we had connecting flights or whatever. But I almost got to meet him and have a drink with him. I was sad that didn't work.
He's great. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I've talked to him on the phone. Yeah, he's awesome. So. But I guess we should mention too. And by the way, thank you for my shirt.
You're welcome. And your mug's right here.
Yes, I got a mug. I'm so excited. My first mug I've ever been sent. I'm going to be using it, of course.
Yeah.
But Sweatshop Swag, thank you for the swag.
Yes,
Mike
thank
does
you,
a good
Mike.
job.
Thank you, Mike.
We love Mike. Mike does all our stuff for us.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he does our hats too.
Hats.
Right.
We have the hats. The whole bit.
Yeah.
Or hoodies. Yeah.
All the stuff. All right. Well, I will let you guys get back to your day, and I'm so glad we did this. Thank you so much.
No, thank you,
Carla. Thank you, and to everybody who took the time to watch, thank you very much. And if there's anything that you've said or comments that we can reply to, we certainly will.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, and our phone, www.cortezindustries.ca, go on there anytime. And if there's any questions or questions, don't ever hesitate to call or text or whatever it takes to get a hold of us.
También para la comunidad latina, muchas gracias por estar aquí. La verdad que les agradezco el apoyo. Como les digo, lo que necesiten, nosotros siempre los vamos a apoyar, los vamos a ayudar en lo que sea. Uniforme, el grupo que está, siempre los vamos a apoyar. Entonces, muchas gracias por todo.
And there's going to be more to come through. We're going to be starting to do some more MailChimp campaigns.
Good.
Yes.
We've talked about that.
And Google My Business. So that's in the works, working on it. So yes, you're going to be seeing them everywhere, you guys. So thank you all so much. And you guys have a great Saturday. And we'll answer the comments.
And Carla, thank you very much for inviting us.
Oh, you're so welcome.
No, thank you, Carla.
Yeah.
If any of you want to learn some Spanish, just text me.
Yes, send her a message. Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, I know all the parts in Spanish too.
Yes, that's
about
good.
That we sell in Spanish. Yeah.
All right, you guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye. Adios. Adios.